Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side comparison here of the performance between some nice high-end phones. We do have the XZ Premium. I wanted to compare it with the best of the best here in mid 2017. You know, check out the processing, check out the Wi-Fi, etc. So yeah, we're going to start them all up at the same time here. So we do have the S8, the LG G6 and the iPhone 7 Plus 256 gigabyte model. So let's just start them up here. So 3, 2, 1. Hang on. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So you can see iOS always first here in terms of the boot up. Then we do have the S8, the G6, and finally Sony boy, which does take a while to come on actually. So you know that may be the reason for that, but nevertheless it is pretty slow starting up, which is not what we want to see. But nevertheless, I'm sure you're aware of the specs here. We are getting Exynos 8895 in the S8, Snapdragon 821, Snapdragon 835, and Apple A10. I nearly said Snapdragon then, but we do obviously get Apple's own silicon in its own phones. So yeah, let's see. We're going to run Antutu first to check out the benchmark. Because Antutu is good for seeing like the, you know, the stuff here. So let's just run this through. So let's go. So I'm going to just let the graphics play for a little bit here. I'm sure that you probably saw the score already, which kind of gave the game away, but it is interesting to see the smoothness here. And you can see as well the contrast ratios, which I think Samsung is well ahead, let's just be honest, in terms of the contrast. I think they're all on the max brightness. All of them look quite smooth though, you know, it's not too much difference in terms of the GPU. I'm pretty surprised that LG does look so smooth given the more, you know, ancient hardware. Well, not ancient, but you know what I mean, not the most up to date. We have the full HD rendering now, which takes more toll. And you can see all of them breezing through it, very nice and smooth here, no real differences. It's just the Samsung display really does kind of jump out at you in terms of the vibrancy. Maybe we'd see a bigger difference if this was like a 4K test. It'd be nice if Antutu did implement that in future. So I'm going to fast forward the video now so it doesn't drag on for too long and we can get right to the end scores. So we are coming to the end here, and obviously it's not going to be a massive surprise because we did give the game away already, but you know, you can see the Sony does seem to be finishing the benchmark a little bit faster here than Samsung, which is nice. Obviously the iPhone always finishes first, doesn't matter you know what processor you're getting in Android, with a very beastly score, 179,000, which is more than Sony and is more than LG and more than Samsung. I'm very surprised actually Samsung is so low this year in terms of the benchmark, because usually Exynos is the best when it comes to your Android, but you can see Qualcomm's done some excellent work here to catch up this year, because they have been slipping over the last couple of years. So you know, fantastic score here for the XZ Premium, but it can't just match the iPhone. Just imagine what the iPhone 8 is going to be. You know, that's going to be beast in terms of the Apple A11 kind of architecture. So very interesting, and we're just going to as well move on here to the Wi-Fi speeds, because we have seen some inconsistencies now and again with the Wi-Fi here. So I just wanted to get them all on the table and, you know, see. And I think LG's released, sorry, I think HTC's released a phone as well recently, which I might look out for. The problem is it just doesn't have much of a soul, so I'm not in a rush or anything. But you can see these are all on the same like network thing. Just start with the iPhone. Which usually doesn't let me down. Very decent, as you can see. And LG is also pretty good this year, even though it's using older processor for the Wi-Fi. It was pretty good, but clearly not tonight. How strange. I'm sure it's done better than that before. Maybe just having an off night. Samsung, it is your turn, which I've been quite disappointed with in terms of the Wi-Fi generally. Doesn't seem to be very consistent. I mean, it's decent, don't get me wrong, but Sony was killing it the other day in terms of the Wi-Fi, and maybe it'll perform today. Maybe. Or maybe not. You know, maybe not. You can see. Wow. So Sony's really lagging behind today. I don't know why that is. Maybe, you know, it's not had coffee or something, but nevertheless, you know, those are the scores. Samsung is ahead, but only just for the Wi-Fi. But I think it's very interesting. As I said, you know, I think Qualcomm's definitely caught up here this year, and I think we're going to be getting a new Snapdragon next year, which they're already working on with LG apparently. So that's definitely going to be very exciting to see, you know, who remains on top in terms of the CPU. Apple's still very dominant, as you can see, even though the phone's like 6 months old. So yeah, just a quick comparison here of some, you know, high-end phones. If you've got a question, do let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it informative, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.